All right, everybody, welcome back once again to LCS Academy after a first game that had quite a lot of moments there. I'm still Pyro, joined by Cubby and Destrix. Gentlemen, have you been able to cool off after that one?
Fun game.
I'd say
You
so.
know, yeah, I think we're good. I think we're pretty chilled out.
Well, that's really good because things are about to get real hot in here because while we are in this mid game, we've got ourselves some time to play hot takes. We are going to rate some of the spiciest things that the players have to say about the LCS Academy this split. So, just a quick rundown of how it's all going to work. I'm going to give a hot take. I'm going to call it out. And you all, I need you quickly to give me your peppers out of 5. And then I'll ask you to elaborate after the fact as I will render a final judgment on the spiciness scale. If we are ready to go, let's go ahead and load up our first take of the day. All right, so this comes from Golden Guardians Array, and he just says bot lane is jungle diff. All right, Cubby, give me your takes. I want it right off the dome.
That's just a fact. I don't know. I mean, they got 2v2'd, but then the second kill. You know what? Because they got 2v2'd first, I'm going to give it 3. That's
all right,
it.
3. All right, Destrix, what's your instant take?
Okay. Does a spicy take make it more of a correct take, or is it just a wild take? What's going on here?
No, it's got to be like your quick take off the head. I don't want to give you too much time to think about it.
1 through 5.
You're saying 4 peppers? Okay, so
4.
Cubby, you're saying 3. I am going to go ahead. I don't know if we can 3.5 it. I'm going to make the final judgment call.
You got to cut it in half, man.
It's going to be 3. I'm going to say it's 3. I think it's a little closer to base. I think it's a little closer to the middle. That's all right. We're going to give this one a total of 3 peppers. Now, I do want the elaboration. Cubby, we're going to start with you. Why do you think this is right in the middle?
Well, you know, as a fellow support enjoyer, oftentimes I leave my marksmen on their own because it's cooler to walk mid. And if they die, that's on them. Now, Array, because he had his little kitten, that was never the case, but they still got 2v2'd. But then the jungle ended the lane. So there's some fact to that. You can't get 2v2'd if you're going to say that, man. You know, you gotta get some kills down there.
Okay. I think that seems reasonable. Destrix, I know you said it was a little spicier. Why do you think that's the case?
So I believe that to be the case because it's just the meta, man. Like, every jungler has been pathing bot lane. I don't think that's a duo lane anymore. It's a trio lane, especially for the first 14 minutes of it. And Array has sadly been suffering the effects of that as his lane has been visited over and over. I'm going to ignore the 2v2s. I'm going to ignore all the 2v2s, in fact, Cubby, because I want to hype up Action Jackson, and I can if I want to. But yeah, I do feel like the bot lane is there's a lot of jungle influence going on.
Okay, you know what? If I had time to actually listen to it, I do like the rationale, but I'm still got to stick with it. We have that 3 for that final score. Now, we're going to mix things up a little bit here because we actually have some of the words directly from the player's mouths. Let's go ahead and roll out our next take.
Well, I'm definitely a weak laner, but I think if you continue to watch me when I work on that laning stuff over the next couple of weeks, I will be a big threat, and I think I'm just one of the better team fighters, or one of the best in Academy.
All right, that was from BMFX. I'm not going to give you any time to think about it. We're going to mix it up the order, though. Destrix, how many peppers are you giving that take?
2 peppers.
Is it that he's going to be like one of the better bot laners in Academy? Is that the take?
It seems to be the case. It's not very strong, but going to be with a little bit of time. I know it was a bit lukewarm, but let's see how hot it is to you.
I respect that BMFX recognizing that, you know, he's got to scale a bit because I think he's really struggled to start off the split. I'll give it 3 only because I feel like some of the marksmen are very far ahead of him at the moment. But because he's a new rookie, he does have a lot of time to grow and a lot more room to grow. And I'm expecting him to... I'm hoping that he starts to learn faster and we start to see that on the stage because... Some of those games for 100 Academy have felt pretty rough. So that's
you gave a lot of caveats to this one, Cubby. I think it's a little wishy-washy. I'm sticking with Destrix. You said 3, Destrix said 2. I'm going to break this tie at 2.
It's trying to be nicer as to why I gave more peppers. That's the real reason, Pyro.
Yeah, but if you got to give all those reasons, I feel like you're just trying to add in some spice. You're throwing the cayenne pepper in the pot. But
right,
you got to go with just the actual take itself, and that's why I think this definitely deserves the 2. He qualified himself. All the same, though, it is good to see the players recognizing, when they have room to grow, as much as I love the trash talk.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that, we try and do. If you know the game, you can look at things and you can say, hey, that's good or bad. League is obviously a complicated game that changes every 3 weeks, and people can have differing views on it. But hey, if you get killed in the lane, or if you're down 50 CS, that's not good. That's happened a few times with BMFX. So I think it's good for him to recognize that and continue to scale up throughout the season, because I'm excited to see where he can go. Player that hasn't went as hard into like training as an individual as a lot of the other players did to make it to this level. And one of the reasons that 100 Thieves ended up going with him, and one of the reasons why I think he has so much more room to grow, because if he is in the grind, has a lot more to learn than some of the others around him.
Yeah, for the most part, I echo a lot of that. Just to me, the take itself is what is a little bit mild, because every new marksman is saying the same thing. Every new marksman is believing the same thing. They're going to scale the same way. So it's nothing too outrageous to me. I do believe he does have that trajectory. It's just, come on, man. You can come up with something spicier.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think, you should be feeling a little confidence when you're paired up with somebody like Busio down on the bottom side. I think you can play with some confidence for sure. All the same, though, we will see how he continues to develop. But we have to see how this game develops, because we have another take on the horizon. Let's roll it out.
I think I'm better than Armeo. I don't know. I guess everything.
Okay, so better than Armeo is the hot take coming out of Yuji. Just kind of laying it out there. Cubby, we're right back to you quickly. What's your pepper score?
1.
Just 1. So this is true. 100% true is what you're saying.
I mean, it was mild from him. He just said I'm better and nothing else.
Yeah, we do have a 0 as an option if you want, by the way.
I'll give him 1. I'll give him 1.
Okay, all right. There's a little bit in there, Destrix.
I'm the same exact way. 1.
Yeah, I got nothing to tiebreak. I think these are mild. This is a little bit more on the weak sauce side today. So we have a final score of 1. Yuji just keeping it straight to the facts, not really going a little bit harder on that one. But let's go into a little bit more detail about it, because I think a lot of our junglers approach the trash talk game very differently, and Yuji definitely a man of lesser words.
I think for Yuji, one of the reasons that I think that's kind of fun for him is that he actually respects Armeo a lot. I talked with Yuji yesterday before their set and said, are there any junglers that you really respect or love to face in this league? And he said, Armeo. I'm really excited for tomorrow. And he gets to go up toe-to-toe against Armeo and see if he can prove that he is the better jungler today. Definitely a matchup I'm really excited for.
I think Yuji has a great trajectory. I think his growth from spring to summer has been absolutely fantastic, but bro, you're not Armeo. Armeo has had a long time in this scene, has had a long time to develop, both on the LCS stage and on the Academy stage, and has become one of the most well-rounded junglers. While Yuji has plays that work for him and have consistently worked for him, it's still going to be a couple of seasons before I think he's on that same level.
So wait a minute, Destrix, are you saying that this might be a little bit of a hot take? It was just the delivery that you didn't want to give the peppers for.
Well, I asked you before what defines a hot take, and I hear this, and I'm just like, this is not spicy to me. This just tastes like ketchup.
All right, you know what? Let me go ahead and just clarify for another one we're coming for. Yeah, like it's the content, right? Like maybe it's not going to be delivered on the plate you want it, but if the content is spicy, I want to hear what your thoughts are on that one. I do think we are getting another one ready up, and let's go ahead and just roll it out. See if it's got some more spice.
I mean, they only have one good player in their team, and it's their mid laner. After that, it like completely falls off. So if Insanity doesn't decide to like single-handedly carry the game, it's not even close. Their top scores.
He has to decide as well.
I mean, their mid's worse too, but Insanity's just their only like even good player or even decent. Everyone else is just, especially Exit. You know what I mean?
Now we heard this one already, but I don't think it's any cooler. Desrex, you say 5 out of 5, just straight off the bat.
5 out of 5.
5 for Cubby as well. Yeah, honestly,
he went for the jugular, bro. It's a 5 out of 5.
Okay, yeah, like that's
Chad.
No argument for me. Chad absolutely drops all of the spice peppers. It's 5 peppers. It's 5 caps on top of it. This one is ridiculous because Chad just loves the trash talk. So I think that's not even the most we heard from him, Cubby.
I do not agree with Chad and his statements, but that is also part of the fun of trash talk, and that is why it is a 5. And I respect that Chad will go out on the Rift and try every trick in his back pocket to prove that, him and Immortals are 10 times better than Dignitas. And honestly, I know that we're excited about some of the other series that we have today, but we have a lot of series where I feel like teams are closer in the standings, which makes today rather exciting in Academy. And that's one of them. 2 teams that are in the middle of the standings, really fighting to get, head and shoulders over the others. Good opportunity to get some wins on their their board and also set a close opponent behind.
And Chad's just
Absolutely.
exciting, man. Chad is just so exciting to watch. I think he's one of the most unique junglers in Academy because he's always trying to look for his own personal style. He was doing it with the Rengar, and then this week, while they're banning away the Rengar, what's the other champion he used? Kha'Zix. He's so much fun to watch.
Yeah, I honestly don't think you can take anything away from this guy. He is definitely knowing his brand, knowing what he wants to do in this league, whether or not it works out.
Yeah.
But we've got another one, and now we're going to get back to a more traditional standpoint. It is going to be a tweet. Let's go ahead and get the take up on our screen.
Oh!
I saw this one.
retweet.
I wasn't sure if we even could do it. That's the part we got to zoom in on there. TL Yonda for
TL
sure.
Yonda, dang.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything about this is a piece of art.
All right. Well, we can always count on I will dominate for the spice, but hands down, the more spicy part about this is Yon retweeting it. But you cannot be Chad, so I will give it a 4.
I'm the same way. I'm going completely on a 4 on this one. It is incredibly spicy. I did feel it. You know, we were in Ghost Pepper region, but Chad already hit me with the Carolina Reaper.
Okay, so what you're saying is it's 4 because you don't have any taste buds left, and I mean I agree with you at this point. Like it's kind of we're kind of chasing that one up. So I do agree the 4 peppers does make a whole lot of sense here, especially on the retweet. Would it have been 4 had we just showed the dominate tweet though? That's what I want to know.
No, I mean for Dom, that's honestly like that's a 0 for Dom.
Yeah, that's a milk. Okay.
Yeah, it's whatever. It's just another day for Dom queuing up some tweets. But for Yon to retweet it, I respect that from you know, the ever beloved you know, self-proclaimed, self-nickname, or not self-nicknamed, I should say, nicknamed by the coach, the Prince Zuko over there, embracing some of the fire in Team Liquid. Like to see it.
Absolutely. No, that's some good stuff. I do appreciate Yon going very fast there, 0 to 60, just like a Honda. And on that note, we are done with our hot takes, but we're not done with this series. We got one more game on the horizon. Champs like loading up right now. Take it away, Cubby and Deserix.
All right, game number 2. After Golden Guardians have just won their second game of the split, gotta be feeling good coming into this next one.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, in between games, we had Concept doing some of this, just, you know, trying to think about some more trash talk, throw its soul. If you guys missed Quackback, go back through the VOD or potentially check out the @PathLCS Twitter, as it might be up there. Although I will say, I do not have Twitter up, as we have to focus on casting the games, Deserex, which we've got coming up next. Again, 2 of the teams we have a little bit lower in our standings, but Golden Guardians taking game 1 did put one more win on the win side, and are looking to do it again here, as we don't have a swap of sides, but we do have a little bit of a swap of a ban coming out, because Golden Guardians going to take away Twist of Fate preemptively.
This has got to hurt a little bit for TSM, considering their streak so far. Of course, losing again for Golden Guardians would suck at the end of the day, but for TSM, you know, they haven't had a 2-0 since the very first day of performance with their matchup against C9 with the sub-squads. As it is right now, they're on a 5-game loss streak. You know, they would really like to end this week on a high note right now. So let's see if they can bring it back in this next game, as TSM, first pick on the B1, gonna grab the Ezreal.
Yeah, we don't love to harp on results, and, you know, in Academy, like to focus more on the development of some of these players. And I will say for the side of TSM, looking for a lot more improvement out of their bot lane. I think that's one of the reasons that I was somewhat excited about the start of that last game, is I think we were seeing some of that out of how Shenyi and Instinct were playing that lane. But Shenyi getting caught in the mid game, not good. And a couple other things that happened throughout that game. For the bot lane, Instinct getting taken out early in the team fights by Choose and Friends, not good. And we will see if Golden Guardians can continue some of the momentum that they had. Again, a couple tragic losses for them. This is a good opportunity to bounce back, and looks like they're sticking with a lot of the same strategy, opening up again with Yuumi Wukong.
Yeah, but for TSM, the Zeri was banned away this time, so Instinct's not going to be able to play it like he did in game number 1. This time, it will be the Ezreal. Hyper still feels confident on that Volibear, and for good reason. A lot of the dives that TSM set up towards that bottom lane with Hyper on the Volibear, it was a bad day for a raid, to say the least.
It was a good start to the game for the side of TSM, and they just couldn't get it across the finish line. And for TSM, we will see. I like Ezreal paired up with you know, early game champions like Volibear and LeBlanc. It gives you ways to have mid priority to play to the sides, and also gives you a scaling option in the Ezreal. But speaking of scaling options, Golden Guardian's going to take that Corki early. So no marksman yet for Array. Expecting to see a couple bans, maybe targeted at some Kai'Sa or Ezreal counters. Kai'Sa comes to mind. Whereas on the side of TSM, or Golden Guardians, I should say, they could get rid of a couple supports they don't want to deal with being paired up with the Ezreal. Would not be surprised to see a Karma ban here.
Karma ban's the only one I really do expect to go through, but the other thing I'm expecting more is the tanks, the engagers. Already, Nautilus has been banned away. Remember, this is Shenyi that's paired over in the bottom lane with Instinct. He likes to engage. He likes to fight. First thing he was doing when he shows up in LCS Academy, insta-lock Leona, start flash, Shield of Daybreaking everyone he can find. So those engagers, Golden Guardians watching out for them, but TSM taking away the Jhin.
That's curious. Jhin was actually a champion I thought would really benefit from the durability patch. It's just given that you could go crit, and you know games were going a little bit later. Crit Jhin, you have a decent landing phase, and then you scale really hard. And also you could step up a little bit easier for some of those fourth shots, given that everyone had more defenses. And so seeing that taken away from Array is actually pretty curious, as I was expecting to see more so the Kai'Sa, potentially even a Twitch still being taken away. Twitch would be tough this game against LeBlanc, as if you do show, Takeover would just try and one-shot you every time. So I would expect a Kai'Sa ban here, whereas Golden Guardians, actually getting rid of the Tristana. We'll see if Kai'Sa is the option for Array. It's not the best pairing with Yuumi, but it is very good into the Ezreal, and something that Array is very, very comfortable on, which is why I was kind of expecting it.
Feels like a lot of those bans were after his Proving Grounds pull more than anything else. He had a lot of good games on Jhin, due to just really team fighting front to back for 100 Thieves Next, where he had a strong front line, was able to put down a lot of damage from the back line using the, I forget what the Jhin ultimate's called for a moment, the Curtain Call, there we go.
Curtain Call, yeah.
But for Array, he felt somewhat confident on that Twitch, so he's bringing it back again, paired up with the Yuumi.
I worry for the Twitch against Voldabear, LeBlanc, and the early game. Is this early game bot lane for the side of Golden Guardians is very weak, and TSM seeing that, I think they're going to index more into it, Leona. It's about going in, snowballing this game. So TSM set up to play this game very quickly. They do have Ezreal in their back pocket for scaling. Gangplank as well, scales all right. And LeBlanc late game, you know, can be surprising with some of the damage she deals. On the side of Golden Guardians, I'm expecting another Scion from Concept.
I'm holding my breath on that one because I love it when Concept picks more of these oddball champions. I feel like I really am watching Immortals right now with how awkward this draft has been from Golden Guardians. But I love it. I love it completely, and it's going to be Mundo locked in over on that top side for Golden Guardians Academy. Concept bringing that champion out once again. Played it the first time. It was just that frontline damage soak. That's all he needed to be for GGA.
I think the logic for the Mundo is exactly that. No one can kill Mundo on the side of TSM Academy, as Ezreal, especially if you go blue build, you do not get through Mundo. LeBlanc can't deal with Mundo. Gangplank can slow down Mundo, but cannot deal with Mundo as this game goes on. So on the side of Golden Guardians, all about scaling. And I think, again, we have to put a lot of focus on Acadian. Can he get his team to the later stages of the game where their comp will be very powerful and very easy to execute? And then for TSM, can they get Takeover ahead, and can he go affect the side lanes? And what can Shenyi do on this Leona? Because again, TSM get monumentally outscaled this game. So I really think that Shenyi Hyper have to sync up, make a lot of early proactive plays.
I'm watching the bot lane. I'm going to be watching that bot lane. You said Shenyi and Hyper. It's going to be Dive City. I feel like TSM are going to repeatedly target that lane. You noted to it earlier with the Voldabear and LeBlanc, but the power you get from that dive onto Array and Chime being on the Twitch and Yuumi is pretty disgusting. That being said, though, if you can get towards those late game, not late game stage, mid game stages even, with Golden Guardians composition and still be relatively even, that's a good spot for them.
Oh, even if you're down 2k gold like 15 minutes, I think that's fine for Golden Guardians. That's how hard their composition scales, and that's how hard TSM's will fall off. They need a 5k plus gold lead at 15, truly. So we'll see if TSM can get it. They have a lot of tools.
All right, now ready to hit the Rift. Game number 2 of TSM Academy versus Golden Guardians Academy. And again, what a fun draft coming out from Golden Guardians. I love seeing stuff like this. You know, I know people kind of hated a lot of those tank metas. I did too, a few of them, but there were some like the season 2 tank meta with tank junglers where it was just so much fun to watch when you had those tanks that were just going for engages all over the place.
A Mumu Cho'Gath.
Yep.
Fun times.
Too bad we can't get the tank junglers back, but I can relive it somewhat in the tank top laners. Oh. Look at this right here. Ray's going to be caught out going for the invade. Does have the backup of Acadian and Chime. Going on to Instinct now. Now, keep in mind, you can get a lot of damage out from the Twitch, but when you're down so many, it's not going to work out. Acadian's going to be first blood. It's given over to Takeover.
And fun fact about Leona, you know, oftentimes I'm considered a Braum 1-trick. I'm actually a 2-trick. I played Leona too when I hit GM Season 10. Soft flex. Maybe a tease for later, Rex. I hope you're paying attention. But,
I am.
Yeah, I will say, one of the good parts about Leona early, any early engages, 4-second cooldown on your Q. Oftentimes how you can win a lot of the melee matchups, the fact that you get your ability back faster compared to your opponent. Yeah, walking into Leona level 1, not recommended. And Golden Guardian's feeling the brunt of that.
Yeah, when it comes to favorite champions, it's already known that Diana's one of my personal favorites, but Leona's a close second, I'm going to be honest. A lot of the lore that came out around Diana and Leona put them as a pairing as my favorite. So I ended up playing a lot of Leona, especially in the smaller tiered leagues of League of Legends. A lot of fun to play in those community ones, but Leona, just the engages you can get and the pairings you can do if you want to be aggressive with these engages. You know, I look at the Volibear, my god, that duo right there, so devastating to get engaged on with. You know, it's a lot of fun to see that, and I like aggressive supports.
I like aggressive mid laners, Rex, as Takeover. Really taking it to choose here. Gonna crash the second wave. And TSM, you can see their early game, it's very powerful. They can really press as, look at Hyper at the moment. Pinging out the Raptors, wasn't able to scout where Acadian started, but this could potentially be a dive for the side of TSM. We'll see how aggressive they go. They're going to crash this wave, go for it. Takeover's done a great job getting Choose low early, has one more health potion than that, but has not taken it down yet.
I'm giving this a 3 on the spice meter right now. Now setting up for the dive. Hyper trying to get close enough, but the tower shot goes through. Takeover goes down. Choose will get the kill.
What? Well, okay.
That happened. Oh, don't replay. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Producer.
Oh, man. What I will say, all right, here we go. Level 3 for Choose. I think that did throw Takeover off a little bit, as the chain doesn't connect. He's not out of tower range when he took that W in. Unlucky. And Hyper wasn't able to burn Flash.
Good angle from Choose.
Oh, that's tough. Not a good start.
I'm just saying our producer did that, not us. Don't throw the hate mail over there.
Sad times.
Sorry, Takeover.
Sad times for Takeover. Sad times for TSM. As, again, TSM, we put a big emphasis on this early game. Getting ahead early, Rex. You can see, even in Takeover's inventory, knowing how hard TSM has to snowball this game. Going for Corrupting Potion, Doran's Ring, and a Darksteel on this LeBlanc. We will see if that is enough to take down the Corki. If not, this game is going to go pretty heavily in Golden Guardian's favor if TSM cannot get off the ground.
A rough start for Takeover, but it's definitely not the end of the world into this matchup. So Takeover will try to recover into this one. You still have Hyper, who is obviously looking to free up this lane, so I'm expecting Hyper to pay more visits over there. The only problem is, even with that gank they pulled off into the mid lane, they only got the Valkyrie, which is a regular skill. They weren't able to burn his Flash.
She's actually playing this nice, dancing around the mini-wave dodge out on some of those chains. I think another concern this game for the side of TSM. This Ezreal versus Twitch. Twitch, actually a sneakily powerful laner. And Twitch is ahead in this matchup. Has yet to base. Array should think about resetting here. It is a small wave. So Shenny is actually going to hunt. Let's see if we have any fights. Shenny will take a good chunk of damage. That will stop Array from basing, though. And Array, knowing that Instinct is up, Sheen has to be very respectful of this next wave. So Instinct does have an opportunity to punish in the spot lane. As Golden Guardians, again, even game. I said that TSM, like, at 15 minutes, they need a humongous gold lead. Like, we're looking at 3K, 4K, 5K plus when it comes to the 20-minute mark. They don't have a chance this game. And Golden Guardians staying even early. That's really big for them. TSM will not be able to deal with their comp soon.
This is a little bit worrisome right now. Now trying to set up the play. Acadian is hovering towards
There
the
it
mid
is.
lane, but fast enough. No, he will Valkyrie out. The burn. It's ticking. It's not enough. Choose is still going to be alive.
Takeover just got Ignite back up. He did not have it in time for that play. So close, as now Takeover can't even play aggressively enough to step up. Shoes will be denied this way, but Takeover has to be careful. Just given how low he is, he cannot distort, or else Acadian will kill him. There it is. Yeah, end of the wave. All right, you're good. We can try and get this one in. We'll do so successfully. Good attempt from Takeover and Hyper.
Yeah.
A little bit more synced up this time, but still not enough.
That is rough. Well, TSM have had a lot of good stats when it comes to the laners. It's moments like that that just break your heart in the team fights or in the skirmishes themselves, where they're just not aligned. They just don't have that timing. I saw it happen before with the Call of the Forge God usage from Soul and Hyper going in a little bit too early. Now seeing that again going in before you had the Ignite just breaks your heart, because for TSM, you know, they're feeling like they should be 2-0 to start this off.
And on the side of Golden Guardians again, the fact this Twitch has not been set behind at all from a team with Leona, LeBlanc, Volda-Bear, haven't been able to open up the windows for the LeBlanc to make power plays, and now Hyper's gonna be poked off this dragon, and Takeover did not spot Acadian, so TSM should get forced off this objective. Even look at the health bars as Array. Oh, Ray's actually doing that very nicely, not overcommitting, not trying to drag a fight, just trying to win out on the War of Attrition. As even Golden Guardians get the first dragon, this game's already looking doomed for the side of TSM, truly.
Golden Guardians are trying to set up for their first series win, as they've already taken game number 1, now in game number 2. Starting off with a relatively neutral early game, but it's all they really need considering the scaling they have now. Array looking for a play onto Instinct. Exhaust goes out. Chime burns it. We'll get the flash out of Instinct.
Both sums now down. That wave shoving away from the Ezreal. As Shenyu's Leona was not able to pay off early. And because they can't jump on the Twitch without being melted by all the base stats that you get, all the base damage from his passive, the E. Again, very powerful actually in early trading. Really sneaks up on you if you can't jump on it and punish. It's not been the case for TSM. And they're in big trouble.
It's really painful when you're behind on Leona. You know, your whole kit is to be a frontliner, is to literally just be there and stun lock people. But if you have no health to back it up, gone.
And honestly, that's one of the big changes with the durability patch, is the fact that even when you were behind on Leona, you were still so powerful, because in a meta where everyone could get like blown up in one shot, you had the power to set that up for your team, and Leona would not go down. It could not be one shot because of how powerful its skill Eclipse is. So now when everyone, you know, has more health, more resistances, you can't one-shot people, and your unique trait has kind of been taken away from you, Leona does not feel like she is the same champion on this patch. One of the reasons we've been seeing a lot more Enchantresses, and then one of the reasons we've been seeing people opt for the Nautilus. You at least get that guaranteed depth charge to land, and try and execute off that, even though Not still really does struggle. And at least for TSM, we have our first positive of the game here at SRX. After First Blood, it is a Rift Herald. Big time for the side of TSM.
Yeah, you need that surge of gold to come out from TSM. And Rift Herald is always a good way, especially in these early stages where you can net those plates to get some of these solo lanes going. Takeover, Soul, both would be very, very appreciative to be the recipient of that Rift Herald. You know, free up Takeover, get him out of lane, get him to roam around and start affecting these side lanes. LeBlanc is so good at assassinating on that. You know, same thing with Soul, get him a gold lead, get that Gangplank scaling so he can be more of a threat when Golden Guardians start getting towards that stage and come online. Still has it, he is pathing upwards right now, so not be using it onto the bottom lane, should be expecting it either mid or top.
I also want to see how Golden Guardians, you know, we're looking at this game, we're 10 minutes in, they have a small gold lead, and the comp just scales astronomically compared to their opponents. I want to see how clean Golden Guardians can close this out. Because that is something, we've talked about some of these tragic losses. This is something that GGA has somewhat struggled with early in the split, just being able to shut down games and have them go in their favor. I know from talking with Ray before this week started, he said, you know, we feel like we're like, you know, we're a team that we still have our coach playing mid. Obviously, I wasn't recognized, but I feel like that was kind of in the subtext. What he really meant, though, is that, you know, most of our losses come from the fact we're not playing as a team. Like, we've had some calls where we're just not on the same page. This is a great game to see if your calls are on the same page, because they scale astronomically, and we can see Array here, I think, playing intelligently, very patiently. It's going to show. And here comes the execute.
Ooh, chain of CC onto Array. It's going to force the flash out of him. Now coming forward is going to be Hyper, looking to get the lockdown. Will slam jam.
Answer,
Thank you, man.
though.
Takes down Array. Now Chime left alone. Looking to hop over to Acadian and choose. No man's land for TSM. Hyper going one way. Shenyi going another, but they're both going to meet in the respawn.
All right, I think giving it to Yubi is actually good there. You get the faster Moonstone. And Golden Guardians, again, a team play. Array, Chime, they recognize the fact that we're being dove. Golden Guardians step up. They answer as both the jungler and the mid laner rotate down. Good stuff from them. We were just talking about how we wanted to see them play as a team. How fast can they shut this one out? And the big play for TSM, the big plan of taking down Twitch Yuumi in this bot lane, it took them too long to execute it. And when they did, Golden Guardians were there to answer.
Array goes down, but it doesn't matter because the response out of Golden Guardians, too quick. Get the rest of the boys over there. They're able to clean up TSM. And with all that focus down into the bottom lane, attempting that, it is coming late for TSM, because you've got to keep in mind, Hyper's been trying to free up this mid lane for a while. 2 attempted plays over there, unsuccessful for TSM, and it results in a delayed advancement over to that bot lane to try and stifle Array and Chime.
Rift Herald will be dropped, so it still should be first brick going over to Instinct inside of TSM. So at least that dive, they were able to revisit it and drop the Rift Herald. Again, get something, but it's an even gold game.
That's
and
managed.
we really cannot emphasize enough how difficult this is. Oh boy.
Oh, Choose comes in with the package. Isolates Hyper.
That's a big package.
Free firing's going to be Array. Now Choose hops over towards
the
Instinct.
buffer.
We'll take down Shenyi as well. True Shot Barrage comes out, but it's far too late. The team fight was won by Golden Guardians.
Yo, Coach Choose, man. Good stuff from him.
Coach
as
Choose.
he's able to make an impact with the package. Gets the Dragon. Had a nice buffer there on the stun from the Iona to get away, buy some space, pump out some more DPS. He's sitting at 3-0-1. Again, we talked about how he hasn't played competitively since Season 8. I've been a coach who has had to sub in for a roster before, even though it was a lower level. I inted, it feels terrible. You do not want to be in that situation where you are limiting your team. And Coach, he's been a huge asset for his team in this one as 3-0-1. He's been playing really good.
Love it. Love it coming out from Choose, because what a wild mid laner to have in Choose, considering Golden Guardians, you know, the win they had before this one was off the back of Choose, the FlyQuest game, Choose playing Yone. He showed up in that one for a lot of the teamfight ultimates onto the back line. Now we have him showing up for this team fight over on Dragon and getting Golden Guardians another win. Choose, he's put in the work.
Good to see, as, again, Golden Guardians, you could not ask for a better early game for them with this composition. Being up 2 Dragons, 500 gold plus, is monumental when you have Twitch, Corki, and a Mundo. Credit to Concept, by the way, who has been very self-sufficient in this top side. 2 matchups in a row now, getting the best of the Gangplank. And I think this is big for Concept, as we've seen him somewhat struggle outside of his own champion pool at the start of this split. Mundo's been the only champion that he picked up a win on before coming into the day. And with the Scion and the Mundo, piloting that into the Gangplank of Soul, a champion that, again, historically counters and deals really well with these champions. Scion, not as much as the Mundo, but still, Concept, his ability to step up on his champions, good to see out of him, as we haven't been seeing the same concept that we saw in Immortals Academy last split so far this split. I think we're seeing a bit of that today, as Concept's really stepped up.
Into this matchup versus Soul on top of it, where we've had all that trash talk. Both of these top laners have been trying to step up for their team. Soul in the last game assassinated Array. Very simple barrel. Concept just held that front line. Both of them very, very good when it comes to that top lane. Now Acadian making a visit to that same top lane, just without the top laners, hops on the Shenyi. We'll get a little chunk of damage as both of the teams hovering around this top side where Rift Herald will be spawning soon.
I like, too, how, like, in the Quack back... Oh, gotta pause, as we do have a Chemtech popped, and a Chemtech to the Wayward. I'll talk again about Soul versus Concept, as if we look bot right now, Concept is actually dirty farming Soul. And it's pretty funny, because, you know, part of that Quack back, we said Soul talking about how Concept was, like, helping him out with the business side of things. You know, just trying to be a pro. Like, what he wants to look out for, what his goals are, how teams might be able to help with that. Concept kind of helping him navigate the space at the start. And now Concept's playing Corporate Mundo and just throwing briefcapes at him. So he's actually giving him the business, but after he educated him on the business.
Ooh, all business here, and so is Soul, as he'll show up with the cannon barrage, isolating so many members of Golden Guardians. Forced to go a different route. It's going to be Array, and Instinct will take him down. TSM, get the teleport faster, get to the fight faster.
Good stuff from TSM. Get something positive for themselves on the map again. Concept did not burn TP there, did not choose to join, as that Rift Herald was actually picked up by Instinct, who also picked up the kill, and has a Muramana evolved in base when he does so choose to get back. So I know we've talked a lot about how Golden Guardians should be favored pretty heavily in this game. Instinct, though, stepping up. He's picked up a lot of mid-game CS, has the potential to help maybe prove me wrong, help bridge the gap.
Taking another look at that last little skirmish right there. It's almost looking good for Golden Guardians, but then Soul teleports in. The cannon barrage in these choke points is so devastating.
That was a really nice ult from Soul. Also synced up with Shenny. Good to see those two on the same page. As Soul able to make that one work with the rest of his team. Down in CS, but still effective on the gangplank. As TSM showing some signs of life in this game. I still think things are rather grim for them. But at least able to delay Golden Guardians, give themselves a few angles. What TSM really need to do is try and connect all the Ezreal poke, dodge out from all the Corki poke. But they're still facing down a Yuumi. So at this point, I think TSM really relegated to trying to find picks. And we'll see if they can do so before this Dragon. His Takeover's done a nice job of sneaking in here. Yeah. No vision, has not been spotted.
And Golden Guardians already made the call to choose. He took his recall, back to base, now has the package. Looking to come in for this fight. Golden Guardians definitely want a challenge here.
They have
and last time it was Choose getting the isolation, able to cut the rest of this team. He's going to go for it again onto the back line. Jenny is going to follow through, trying to chase him. Instinct runs low. Solar Flare lands onto Choose, who's still on that back line. Finally gets taken down by Hyper. Cyclone comes out. Instinct gets dropped, and now Golden Guardians, they're coming together. They're still as a 4-stack, and they will chase down TSM. Soul heading for the heels. Concept says, come here. Soul. I got one more lesson to teach you, brother. A couple of more briefcases onto the back of the head. Soul will just barely escape that lesson, but Golden Guardians...
Wait a minute, Hyper got
Look at this, coming out from Hyper. He steals away the dragon, hiding in the bush. Acadian, a little bit angry about that one. Will gift a kill to Array. And what a fight coming out both sides. Nice steal coming out from Hyper. Concept holding that front line.
I think we saw some of the issues with the comp for TSM moving forward again. I think their lack of damage is what I'm really worried about into the Mundo. Because Concept... he is unkillable. And when Choose trades himself pretty much for Instinct, look at Concept. He does not lose any health. It is Mundo, Yuumi. He just runs straight through everyone, finds Instinct on the backline. Another briefcase connects to Shenyi. Now it's on to his old buddy Soul. Says, come here, bud. I got some more business for you. No one can stop him.
I love it so much. You know, I hate the fact that Mundo is considered pretty ape-brain when it comes down to it. You just run up to people, throw briefcases. Very simple.
Speaking of running at people.
Oh, speaking of, this was beautiful right here.
Yeah, so Acadian doesn't have Smite. He didn't have Smite available. That's why I said it was Hypers preemptively. I'm not like a Giga Brain fortune teller or anything. I just look at the cooldowns.
No, you wrote the script, Cubby.
Did I?
Yeah.
Or if I did, were we supposed to reveal that? Was that in the script? And if so, that means that I would have wrote it to be revealed right now. This is the rabbit hole that you just opened up, Desrex.
You wrote that into the script as well.
As much as I'd love to get in simulation theory, I don't think this is the time to do so. As, we still have some League of Legends in front of us and a Baron coming in. And a mid-lane outer falling in favor of TSM.
There's no theory here. I'm asking you what is going to happen in this game. You wrote the script. You know the results. TSM are marching down the mid lane. Is the team fight about to break out? Because Concept's walking right there, Cubby. You got to tell me.
Concept just doesn't care. Oh, not able to find the eye, though. Another crash on the inner. As Golden Guardians drop a tad bit, but still find something elsewhere as Choose picks up that top outer turret. And now Concept was actually... oh, boy. Soul might be in trouble here.
He runs past Hyper.
Wow.
Sees the true victim he has to chase down.
Oh, man.
Hyper didn't do trash talk. Soul did the trash talk, and Concept took that personally.
God. All right, what business deal did Corporate Mundo not connect that causes this? As okay, Takeover's in trouble. Good night.
Yeah. No more distortions left. Ultimate on cooldown. Choose an Acadian over the wall as a duo. We'll get the kill. And Shen, you just trying to fight for some vision, but this is not your jungle anymore, brother. This belongs to Golden Guardians.
And this is what I was concerned about when it came to TSM's composition versus Golden Guardians. And this is the consequence of TSM not connecting with their game plan, which was get LeBlanc ahead, then go attack bot, and set those two carries so far behind they can never truly do any damage to back up Concept. But that wasn't the plan. Golden Guardians, their damage dealers, are in good shape. Concept's unkillable, and Concept's going to put that to the test. CTP's mid.
Yeah, going after Instinct.
got
Reflex goes
Ghost.
out. Doesn't land. Still chasing him down, though. Doesn't have the ultimate, so harder to dive.
Hold on.
Concept can't really do it. Oh,
Now Shenyi
here
is in
comes out
trouble.
the solar flare. Gets the
Who's
slow
next?
onto Array, but Shenyi in a lot of hurt. It's Array able to lay him down. Concept grabs the kill, and now Golden Guardians are looking towards Baron. How much TSM can do here?
And Concept has ult available. He's going to go pick up some fruit. Might just go back to catch the bot lane as Golden Guardians. Baron starting that would be a mistake, as, again, they don't have to do anything in this game. This game should be theirs. You can see the defensive items. Hex Drinker for both Wukong and Corki. That's enough to prevent LeBlanc from one-shotting you. Twitch will have Invulnerable. Or I should say the Q, the ambush, to try and make sure LeBlanc can't spot him. Has to be careful when he pops. And besides that, how's your day going? I feel like that's kind of where this state of the game's at. Even if it's a little bit closer on the scoreboard. I've had a lot of issues with reading comps and scaling in 12.11 Deserex. A lot of things changed, but I feel pretty confident about this one.
Are you guys in the Twitch chat, by the way? How their day's going?
I
with Cubby.
I don't have. If Twitch, sure, if Twitch chat wants to answer, I'll read it after like all the games today. We'll figure it out later. Sorry, Twitch chat. We have a job to do here. We take it very seriously. As of course, I was just asking Deserex how his day's going and simulation theory.
My day's going
Very
fine.
serious.
My day's going fine, and there was no theory. It's a proven concept. And speaking of, awkward timing on that one, as Concept will chase on to Shenyi. Shenyi, flashing over the wall, though, will be okay. Concept,
Oh my god, he
he's
took
just a bully.
400 damage.
It's just a bully.
He took 400 damage.
Concept owns this place right now. He is the CEO of the Rift as he walks up to the mid lane, takes that turret, says, cha-ching, belongs to me, another bag in the bank. And now Golden
CEO
Guardians
of Tank Picks Concept.
headed for the dragon. Pretty much,
CEO
yeah,
of Tank
Academy.
Gameplay, yeah.
We don't got to lure him anymore, so
Okay.
Concept,
Dragon secured.
he owns it.
Yeah. Rat greater than Giant Dragon. And Concept gonna continue to fix these side waves. As on the side of TSM, Takeover's down 2 levels compared to Choose. That's not good. A lot of things grim here for TSM. It has been a tough week for TSM. They've been dealing with more than just things in the game. I don't know if they've tweeted much about that, but a couple members did fall ill, so not everyone's been able to play from the facility this week. I think it's shown a little bit in their gameplay. It doesn't look like the same team we saw last week. As TSM will be looking to bounce back, and of course, still trying their best to muster up anything they can find this game, even if things are looking as grim as we are painting them.
Got a lot to fight through considering the state of the game we're at for Golden Guardians. So much scaling now online. You have the Luden's Echo, Matamira, completed for Choose. Still working on the second item where you have that Maul. Just in development. Still waiting for that second item to come out of Array. Gonna be a pretty big breaking point here for Golden Guardians, but here comes Hyper. Array sees the bear coming out of the jungle and says, it's hunting time! Up and away is gonna be Hyper. Will pop the ultimate to get away from the grasp of Golden Guardians.
If that's the business of Concept, then I have something to pick with them. We have some beef. Yeah, can't go after bears like that. As Hyper agrees, he escapes, but Concept just getting mid priority on his own on this Mundo. Yes, he can go where he pleases. I feel like we have yet to make that reference yet. But because of the slow pace of this game, Deserex, we are being resorted to it. We must reach deep. As Golden Guardians will not take the Baron after forcing their jungler, or the enemy jungler back. They will reset, get Array a Kraken Slayer. And maybe we'll see mid push into a Baron take next.
Kraken Slayer completed, his second item of the game. 25 minutes into this one. Instinct has still been doing well as a pretty strong CS lead in comparison to Array. And positioning for Ezreal so crucial. These Mystic shots and these drawn-out fights do a lot of work. So if TSM can keep that front line up for Instinct, you could potentially get something going, but
We have a pick.
looking for a pick now. Takeover puts the chains onto Acadian.
Promising.
Acadian getting collapsed onto. Here comes Hyper, follows
Promising.
through. Able to pop the ultimate is going to be Chime. Now Golden Guardians looking to get out of
Oh,
this
he
one.
went over the
Acadian
wall.
over the wall, able to survive a little bit longer. We'll get off the second charge
Concept.
of his Cyclone. Concept now looking to go in for more. Instinct onto him, but Concept doesn't really care. That health bar is big. TSM still find the pick onto Acadian.
If Array shows on this wave, things could get bad, as Hyper does have ult and flash behind. We did tease the TSM. They need to find picks. That was a good setup from Takeover to find Acadian. Yes, things are still very grim, but we will see as Array, I did say if he shows, could be dangerous, but Hyper decided against it, as the rest of his team did reset. We'll reset and find that his red buff has been taken by the CEO, as Concept is a very evil corporation this game. Everything is his. It's not a lot of sharing going on here at SRX.
Is it evil if he's a self-made man, Cubby? Like he's done
He's
this
living the
all
American dream.
We know exactly what top lane is. You're just isolated over there.
Oh my god. What is in those briefcases?
That was one briefcase on a soul.
It's
My
like
word.
600 health. Jesus.
It's the old, back in ARAM, you would take the magic pen boots with Mundo, just so you can maximize the briefcase damage.
You've been hanging out with Kangas too much.
Yeah, I
That's knowing ARAM strats, that's a Kangas thing. If you ever play ARAM with Kangas, you will play AP Lucian, and
I will too.
that's why I don't play ARAMs with you, Deserex.
It's alright. I got Kangas. I got
This
Smacks.
is becoming a
It's all
therapy
right.
session for us.
It's alright. We're working out the issues as TSM are trying to work out their own into this one. 30 seconds left on the clock before Dragon does spawn, and Golden Guardians
Soul
already on
for
the inside
GG.
track. Look at
We might
Shenyi.
see action. Get excited. Come
He's
on,
hiding,
Deserex.
he's hiding in the same spot that Hyper was earlier, so he's got a technical flank going in.
Concept lost health. Choose does have package
Whoa.
available in base, but he TP'd without it, as that package is available shortly. Wasn't quite synced up.
He lost health, but he got it back. Concept doesn't care. Oh, there's another chunk of health, but he's just gonna brush
One
that one
trading
right
at
off the
Cypher,
shoulder.
Big one goes south. Shenyi.
Shenyi, man. Ah, he's forced to flash over the wall. Stuck there a little
Oh,
bit
they
too
found
long
Juice.
now. Here comes Takeover. Takeover with the chains. There's that cannon barrage. Beautiful coming out of Soul. It's putting a lot of zone control coming out for TSM, but now here comes Shenyi. Jumps in, looking for Acadian, but it's the
That's all their
clone
tools.
you've hopped into. Over the wall. Takeover. Keep an eye on him. Could have swatted him out with the ward there.
he
Now
spotted there.
Concept walking up. Making sure
Nice.
Takeover will not be able to
Oh.
get in. Oh, Acadian low. Acadian hops away. Hyper hops onto Acadian, but Choose guns him down from the plane midair without another jungler to be found for TSM. Golden Guardians are looking to secure this Drake. Look at Takeover, though, coming from the
Absolute.
flank. Drake secured. Golden
Here
Guardians
comes
have it.
Mundo.
Concept coming in. He's the big boy. He's taking care of business as another briefcase gets slammed into Soul. He will flash over the wall to try and survive, but Concept says, "You cannot escape. You cannot get away. You're fired." He will chase Shenyi as well. He's got business to do on
got
every single member of TSM. Chuck one up for the highlight reel for Concept as Golden Guardians will mow down TSM.
Concept is so menacing, he just walks at TSM and they cannot deal with the Mundo as he's flashing the emotes. He's got the Yubi. He's got the goods. Business has been taken care of. Golden Guardians, they got the Ocean Soul. They're moving on to Baron.
What a play. What a play. And
What a gamer.
Concept walks out with more health. At the end of this all,
He got down to 600, you know?
and then he just squats it back up.
Hold on. Okay, Hyper just now has been spotted. We will see how aggressively Golden Guardians goes over the wall to play against him, as I believe Concept is going to do that on his own. But
Takeover going after Acadian. Taking him down would be no smite, give Hyper a better chance. But look at this engage going on to Hyper. Hyper first to go golden here. They're going to try and take it down.
Oh,
And
they got it.
using that time, they're going to be able to grab the Baron. It goes over to Golden Guardians. TSM losing their jungler.
And Golden Guardians. A little base. Safely. Yep. All right. Shenyi, give him one more briefcase. Level 17 to level 9 doesn't feel good. That's
He's
a
unkillable.
tough game.
He's absolutely unkillable. You want to see how unkillable he was? Just look at this last fight.
Again, this is an okay start for TSM, but they used all their tools. Like at this point, all their tools are gone. Every ult besides Hyper was used to get Golden Guardians that low. Yumi was already sustaining them back. And then Concept says, you know what?
Let's
You've
just
got
run it
nothing
down.
left in the tank.
Just run it.
I'm going to zone you off the dragon, and then we're just going to keep on running running after that, as Concept just signed up for a 5K here. Pop the ult, walk forward, raise some money for whatever non-profit. I've decided that Concept's running a non-profit.
He's running a non-profit now.
That's what I've decided.
I want to hear what Pyra has to say about this one, you know. A fellow D&D player, so I'm pretty sure he's got some pretty good takes of just how Concept ran this down. I can't get over it. I really can't get over it. He just walks in like he owns the place.
Well,
At this
got more
point,
highlights for Concept.
I think he
He does own
does.
the place. Yeah. He bought Summoner's Rift. That's the non-profit.
If Summoner's Rift is a non-profit, nah, you're kidding. You're kidding on that one. You tell me
I
Boris
hope.
is non-profit.
Boris runs a fair trade. How dare you insult him?
Oh man, what a game to come out of Golden Guardians, especially out of Concept. I want to keep in mind, this is Ocean Soul on a Mundo, so this is why it's infinitely
hold
harder
on.
to kill him.
With a Moonstone Yumi.
Oh,
Okay.
with the Moonstone. Oh my goodness. Soul. That was some revenge coming out from Array as he takes down Soul. Remembered that other game that went off?
Here it comes, Concept.
Now Acadian into the revival. Get out the Cyclone. Choose hops on in for the fight. Array's going to grab another one as it goes on to a rampage.
He just wants instinct.
Shenyi, wrong direction. We'll take the recall over there.
Oh,
His
man.
poor marksman, however, is in the grasp of Concept. My word.
Well, when I said the Mundo was picked because they looked at TSM and said, yeah, they don't have enough damage to deal with it, Concept was right. They didn't have enough damage to deal with this Mundo, as Golden Guardians cruises to a 2-0 victory, putting up 2 wins in the win column today against TSM. Good way to end up their Super Week, and a good way to wrap up things for Academy, as we do have a week break, and Golden Guardians can at least take something home. It has been a very tough start to the split for them, but they had some good games today.
There we go. Just closing it out with a little bit of KDA padding, but for Golden Guardians, you know, winning this game, it's their first series win. So a big pickup right here versus TSM. Golden Guardians feeling good about that one. Concept feeling even better about winning that trash talk war.
That was fun. And yeah, again, I mean, I talked with Array earlier. I know that Acadian's been really bummed about their performance. He's a very competitive person. And, you know, to start the split 1-13, especially with some tragic losses they had in there, was not what Golden Guardians wanted. But, hey, Array's wish, I think we saw some of it today. Playing more as a team, taking these scaling comps with Yumi, surviving the early game onslaught from TSM, and then getting to the point of the game where we, you know, get to talk for 10 minutes about how life is and then just watch Mundo not be killable. That was the game plan for Golden Guardians. I hope they had some fun in their comms, and very successful 2-0 from them.
Successful 2-0 coming out from Golden Guardians, their first series win, and we'll see if that is a bounce back in the season now for Golden Guardians as we get closer and closer to that second round robin. We are going to take a moment to throw it over to short break. When we return, we'll have Pyra with an interview with one of the winners from Golden Guardians.
Hey everybody, welcome back. I am joined after that 2-0 by Golden Guardians Academy bot laner Array. First of all, congratulations Array on the 2-0. How does it feel to finally get a full series win here in Academy Summer?
Thank you. Obviously, feels really good. I mean, we didn't really have a good start, and just feels good to get our first dubs.
Yeah, I mean it's nice and simple at the end of the day. I wanted to talk a little bit about your thoughts on like how the team's been coming together a little bit. I know you spoke to Cubby earlier, how you were hoping for a little bit more cohesion, things coming together. Do you feel like today is really that turning point? Was it just a long time coming? You didn't quite get the results from those tragic losses, or is this the start of something?
I think over the weeks we've been getting better, even though we've still been losing. I think at least I've seen some improvement, and I think today it finally got us the wins, but I think we're slowly getting better and we're scaling up.
Scaling, yeah, that's the answer I like to hear, especially when you're playing a champion like Twitch. Okay, so yeah, it can be rough when you take a lot of those losses early on, especially when the games are so incredibly close. As a player just coming into Academy here, how have you kept your mental up? How have you kept yourself from tilting after a number of those losses?
I think it's just important for me to focus on what I can do better, because I mean I'm still making mistakes in the game and not playing well every game, so I'm just trying to focus on what I can do better, and hopefully the wins will come with that.
For sure. Yeah. In this game, it seemed like you had pretty solid positioning, even though TSM were trying to jump on you multiple times. Do you feel like this game showed off some of the improvements you've been working on?
Honestly, I think I played pretty bad today. I think it was like one of my worst days, but my team really smurfed today, so I think that's why we got the win.
All right. Wow. Very humble player as well. I thought you did pretty good myself, but at the same time, it does seem like your teammates are stepping up. In particular, the casters really shouted out Choose, who's coming back into pro play after not having been competitive for a while. He's your coach subbing in. And of course, Acadian, former coach, now in the jungle role. What is it like for you as a newer player playing with two big brain coaches on your roster?
Obviously, it's pretty nice. I think a lot of my problems, or like a lot of my things that I wasn't as good at, are related, or like are very helpful to have coaches for, because I think my mechanics are not that bad, but a lot of my comms and decision making is like where I need the most help, so it's been really helpful.
Have they been able to give you that help in game while you're in the midst of play, or is it more of just a general coaching thing that you're seeing week over week with them?
It's more of just like outside of game, like when we're reviewing and they're just like telling me things that like Acadian, for example, like he's played with Sven, and in the past, like somebody who's very vocal about what he wants, and that he's been really helping me on like talking about what I want in the game.
Awesome. Yeah, I love to hear that. So for yourself, you have had a start to this that has been a little up and down, but now you are ending at least this week on an upswing. You played 2 games of Twitch today. You won both of them. I think you're the only Academy player to make that work in the summer split. Do you want to talk to me a bit about why you are preferencing this champion?
Well, we just think it's really strong if it's not getting punished in lane, and the picks that they were picking weren't very punishing for the lane, so we just thought we could get through with the Twitch.
Definitely worked, and especially towards the later stages of the game. It didn't hurt the concept started to run over them on the other side. What were the comms like in that game when it did seem to be kind of like a foregone conclusion that you were going to take the win? Did you just start taking it easy, or were you full on focused the whole time?
I was still focused, but I think just looking at their draft, it was like Leona, Volbear, LeBlanc, like all these champs are pretty outscaled by Corki, Twitch Yumi, and even Mundo. And I think we were just knew that if we got through early game that we would probably win.
Awesome. Well, and you certainly did. So with that all said and done, we're going to have a little bit of a break after this, but when you come back, you're going to have, of course, matches against IMT, EG Academy, the rematch. How are you feeling? How is the Golden Guardians Academy roster feeling now that you've got this win on the board, about your confidence going into the second round robin?
We're definitely feeling better after the win. I think if we lost today, the vibes wouldn't be as good, but I think this win really helped out our team mentals.
Excellent. All right, last question for you, Ray. Do you want to shout anybody out before I let you go?
Shout out to my teammates and everybody that is supporting us. Even though we didn't really have a good start, I think we will be good later in the split, and we'll prove it.
Looking forward to seeing it. Thank you very much, Ray, and congratulations again on the 2-0.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that is going to bring it back to us, Cubby and